Hi, and welcome to Open Chest with me, GIRN, where I have intimate and provocative conversations with some of today's most prolific pop culture icons, rebels with a cause, and everyday people like you and me. Travel with me to the City of Angels and take your front row seat for intelligent, provocative, relevant insights into the minds of innovators in fashion and beauty, film and television, music and media, and so much more. Are you ready? What a pleasure to have you here, Lee.
Hi,
I'm
Raj.
so happy that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to come and chat with me on my show.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. I want to share something with you. Every time I look at you, all I see is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hello, Poppet.
I love it. I love it.
You know what? And sometimes some people might figure you're pigeonholed, but might as well get pigeonholed for something that brought you kind of some acclaim and that you really enjoyed and that you'd ask the universe to have happen for you.
Absolutely.
So I'm really proud of those movies and just the way that the audience connected with the storytelling and made it a hit. Disney didn't know that was going to be a hit then.
Yeah, it became iconic. All of you guys became so iconic with that.
Well, it was Johnny's performance that led the way, but the concept that, you know, pirate for him and for all of us meant, you know, being a non-conformist in an ever-conforming world.
Absolutely.
And that says a lot actually about the filmmakers and the people that made it, considering that, you know, Disney is a major corporation and the bad guy in the movie was the corporation, right? And
Yeah.
Johnny was the artist kind of finding his way. But
Absolutely.
what a brilliant performance and what a legendary, you know, Hollywood man to kind of be the lead. Whoever your lead in your show is, that sometimes dictates the behavior of the rest of us in the cast.
Absolutely.
And he's a class act, and so it was kind of neat to see him achieve the #1 movie star of the world based on
a character that's so innovative, especially since, you know, he kind of balanced kind of like the rock star, grunge kind of cool thing.
Correct.
With kind of that historical, you know, ideology behind what pirates were.
Yeah, he's a deep thinker. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to catch you, you know, not necessarily like someone that you're going to necessarily know is really deep if you didn't really take the time to figure it out and look at the body of his work and just judging him by his rock and roll and his tattoos.
Absolutely.
You know? But he was that was a neat life experience, and you know what a pleasure. I like to say, you know, live a couple years in the Caribbean, take a speedboat to work, and hang with Keira Knightley all day.
Oh my God.
It's not too bad, right?
Absolutely.
Poor little kid from the beach.
But you know what's really wonderful is that you've got like this iconic plethora of fabulous work that you've done.
Thank you.
You're a theater actor.
I started in the theater.
Absolutely. And of course, you've done, you know, like over 30 films. We all know about so many of them, and TV as well. But would you say that you class yourself as a character actor?
I class myself as an actor that plays characters.
Right.
Because I think sometimes in Hollywood, character actor means 5 lines and under. But they still pay you for those 5 lines.
Yes.
So when you realize that as a young actor, that maybe you're a lead in the theater, but not necessarily on Friends.
Right.
But you're earning a paycheck and you have a function in terms of the storytelling.
Right.
So I think the theater helps me there sometimes because it's a battle of ego. We're in the ego business.
Absolutely.
And sometimes mine gets as out of control as anyone's, right? And the balance of that and handling the ups and downs of a career in this business.
But you've done it. You've done it, Lee. Like, you know, 20 years, over 30 films. You've been involved with production as well, been quite successful in that realm. Tell me how you feel that, you know, your success from one project to another has kind of lent to your longevity in the industry.
Well, I think my attitude is always I take the work more seriously than myself.
Okay, that's cool.
Always take the work more seriously than yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And want to be there. Like if you're going to ask the universe for something as shallow as a great role, be thankful when you get it. Don't be immediately showing up and complaining about your trailer size. I mean, there's lawyers for that. So when you show up at work, know what your deal is.
Absolutely.
Right? And they have to honor it, but so do you.
Yeah.
And then just a little lesson that I learned as a very young actor on some kind of wild independent movies of the late 80s was, you know, that they pay you for waiting and the acting you should be doing for free. So
that is so interesting.
So you're compensated for your time, but then when everyone else puts together, all the grips, all the makeup artists, all the set designers, everyone's art comes together for you to get your lines right.
Yes, absolutely.
So come prepared, but don't forget that you're there to play.
And tell me what you mean by that.
Well, you know, you have to be willing to be doing jazz music with the other actors and with the camera, and a lot of times the camera's moving, and so if you think about it, it's kind of stilted what we do, but you have to let it flow. What they pay the best actors for is that emotional vulnerability, the ability to bring the emotion out, so that the eyes say one thing while the mouth says something else. And that's what we, as you know, an audience, that's what we
That's what draws us in, right?
Correct.
And keeps us there,
yeah.
you know?
And so it's always striving for that. Always trying, I like to think that I'm still learning. I'm still in the process.
Yeah.
You know, getting better, trying to be my best self.
Yeah, and it's great that you bring that point up, because, you know, acting has a lot to do with you understanding kind of the, you know, the psychology of the human journey, right? Within yourself. How do you get yourself into understanding who it is you're playing, so that you're not actually playing them, you're being them? Because I kind of feel that's what you do.
I definitely do that.
Yeah.
I definitely get into character.
What's your thing?
You know what? It's so simple. I read the script and I do what it says.
Yeah.
And I don't overcook it. I don't overthink it. You know, but I'll explore the emotions I'm given.
Yeah.
And then I'll try and turn on my active listening, so that I'm listening to understand and not just listening to respond. I'm not just waiting there because I know you're going to finish. Because we're not supposed to know.
Right.
Right? Especially if you're doing comedy.
Yeah.
Right? You know the joke. Don't play it too early.
Right.
You got to let it happen. You have to make the discovery.
Yes.
So it's the ability to kind of like, I've already rehearsed this 1,000 times, we've run it 50 times, but now it's going to be for the first time.
Right. That must be the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It can be. And depending on who you're working with and what their kind of techniques are, the key is that your technique can't mess up the other guy.
Right.
And that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of times it's another ego thing. Could be an insecure player or a money player, or someone has some other issue.
What kind of player are you?
I'm not sure. I think that would depend on the observer. Do you know?
Yes, yes.
I like to be a money player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got to take care of your business, right?
Yeah, and also you know, we are not in sport, because it's a lot like sport. But you can be a legendary athlete in, say, American baseball. You only get 3 hits out of 10.
Yeah.
That's a Hall of Fame career.
Wow.
But if I miss 7 out of 10 jokes, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that gig.
Absolutely.
So we have to actually get a hit every single time.
Even, especially when it comes to theatre. I want to ask you something. So you've done all these different, you know, platforms.
Right.
We just mentioned it: theatre, TV, and film. Such a cliche question, but I got to ask someone like you that's done it all, and you've done it for as many years as you have, and you've done it through, you know, different times in society's journeys, right? What would you say is kind of your way of doing each of these types of genres? Like, do you do them differently, or do you have one process that works for all?
I think I probably do it mostly the same.
Okay.
I do. I mean, the rehearsal process is different, right?
Yeah.
So in the theater, it's a communal rehearsal process where we're all working together.
Yeah.
But the key has always been do your homework, come prepared.
Yeah.
That's my secret.
Yeah.
Is I do the homework at home. I'm not coming to a rehearsal space or coming onto a set to practice. What I'm coming there to do is figure out, okay, what are you doing? Oh, interesting.
Right.
Right? And so I see that with a lot of young actors, and I used to run into that in the theater when fellow actors in my show would have day jobs.
Right.
I can invest that 2-3 hours into the work.
Yeah.
That was the key, right? When I was a young actor, I was encouraged after someone saw me do theater, to quit my computer job the next day. I was like 23 years old. I did. I went right in and quit. And I knew the reason why is because that would force that little need. If I didn't get that acting job, I didn't pay the rent.
Right. I love that.
It puts you on the line. Dare to fail as an artist,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Put yourself out there.
You have to.
Yeah.
The reward is tenfold. the courage that it takes for any of us to pursue this is something that I respect in all actors.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. And we have to face a lot of our own, I'm not tall, dark, and handsome. Right?
That's an opinion, darling.
Correct, but it's my own opinion of myself. It's how I see me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how people see me. And so sometimes you just have to shut up and just not worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Begin ego. Right? We're all in an ego business. Things that somebody does to me can be perceived one way or another. And the key thing is to stay positive.
And how do you do that? How do you stay positive? Because there are so many ups and downs that take place in this kind of an industry.
I try and stay in the moment.
Yeah.
I think depression is when you're living in the past, and anxiety is when you're worried about the future. So, I mean, if I learned anything in the last few years, might be to stay more in the moment.
Right.
We have a good moment right now. It
Yes.
leads to this good moment.
Yes.
So now suddenly we string 2 good moments together.
Yes.
We'll see if you can string 10 minutes worth of good moments
Right.
together.
Absolutely.
Right?
I love that.
And that's a really nice thing that you can take to real life. Do you know?
So do you feel that it went that way for you, that it went from you learning who you are because you're an actor, or did you learn about life and then bring that into your acting?
I think I'm still in the journey.
Yeah.
So maybe let's revisit this interview in about 10 or 15 years.
Let's definitely do that.
Well, because I'm on the road to being a better person. I don't think I've always been the greatest person because I've been so self-centered trying to pursue this career at times.
But it's funny that we beat ourselves up over things like that. It's lovely that we're honest about it, but at some point, because it's that hard and there's so many variables external to you that matter to make it work for you, it does need to kind of be about you.
Well, it is about me,
right?
In the essence, right?
Yeah.
When you walk in there for an audition, it's a lot of people staring at you. And they're going to make a decision based on something completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
It's 7% of the reason I get the gig is because I'm talented. 93% is my gender, my race, my age, my height, my weight, my eye color.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Because imagine, just for example, simply put, they're looking for a man. All right, well, that's 50% of the populace that's out. So half of those actors are out just because they're looking man and you're a woman.
Right.
Out. Okay.
Right.
So then they go, okay, now we're looking for, maybe they don't specify that, but maybe they say Asian. All right, I'm out of that. It's another, 12, 15%. So now we're to 65%.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get into age. Then we're going to get into height. And by the time we get to where I can read, because it's short, bald, and crazy we're looking for, I'm on that list. It's why you want to get typecast as an actor in Hollywood.
Yeah. But I kind of feel that you are typecast, but in kind of the best possible way.
I agree.
It's
Thank
just
you.
like, right? Like, it's like, you're on Once Upon a Time and we know you from Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, the pop cultural world knows you from that.
Or my Seinfeld, or,
Yeah,
just parking my
exactly.
car down here today, the valet guy was like, are you checking in? I guess, no, I'm just going to a meeting. And the valet guy goes, hey, he's a big movie star. I don't see myself like that.
I do.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's flattering, and it's a neat feeling. And that's something that's really changed for me since Pirates, and more assuredly since Once Upon a Time.
Absolutely.
Being in someone's home as many times as I've been over the last few years on the TV, we feel like we know each other.
Absolutely.
Or at least you feel like you know me, or aspects of me.
Hi everyone, this is Open Chess TV with me, Raj GIRN. If you like the chat that you just finished watching, I really hope that you will subscribe to my channel for more intelligent, provocative, relevant conversations with some of your favorite celebrities.